We have someone who comes and visits us every Halloween, and she is one of my best friends because she helps me get rid of so much candy after Halloween. It is insane. Not only that, my kids happily get rid of their candy, and I'm about to tell you how. My son and I made bagels for the first time a couple weeks ago, and it was so difficult. There were so many steps to it. I'd rather just bake bread. But I found this recipe and it is so much better. It's way easier and it has a ton of protein. And this is what I'm making today. It is so simple. It has like 3 ingredients. It calls for 2, but I add 1 more to it. So all you need is flour. I start with 1 cup of flour and 1 cup of cottage cheese. And it sounds really weird, but just hear me out. 1 cup of flour and 1 cup of cottage cheese. I put about 2 teaspoons of baking powder into the mix, and then I start mixing it with my hands. If the dough feels too wet and it's not coming together, which it doesn't normally, I add a little bit more flour at a time. So I probably end up with about 1 1/4 cup of flour. Once that is formed a dough, then I just cut it into either 4 large pieces or 8 smaller pieces, just depending on how many mouths I'm feeding. And then you just shape these things into circles. I put my fingers through the middle, the center, and make a little hole, like an actual bagel. After that, I make a little egg wash, put that on top, and I like everything bagel seasoning, so I put that on top. Bake it at 375 for 20 minutes, and these things come out ridiculously good. They have so much protein, like I said, way more protein than a normal bagel does. And then you can fill it up with even more protein. On this day, my kids just wanted butter and cream cheese, which was fine for them, but I put pickles and chicken and mustard on mine, and I had the most protein-packed, easy bagel sandwich lunch ever. It was so good. And I have been making these on repeat for lunch for like 2 weeks now. So this will definitely be a staple in my cooking. It will be a staple in my diet for a while. I might even create a whole new meal plan centered around these cottage cheese bagels because they're that good. So I will actually link my meal plans down below if you want to check those out. I haven't created one with these in them yet, but here's the recipe is down below if you want that, and my meal plans. I like making meals that feel and taste like real good food, that are easy to make. They don't take a ton of time, and they're going to help me reach my fitness goals, which is to be lean and athletic and be able to move and able to do things that I want to do and things that my kids want to do. So that's what we made today, was high protein bagels, and they were so good. We finished up a little bit of homeschool, which actually I regret stopping filming because it looks fine and dandy here, but it turned south immediately when I turned off the camera. And I'm not sure why or how or what went wrong, but I cried after this session. The kids' grandma came and picked them up afterward, and when they left with her, I cried for 20 minutes because I was so overwhelmed, and I was just exhausted. I was exhausted from yelling and repeating myself and all the things. And so I just put it out there. I just want to share because it was not an easy day. It looks like it was an easy day, and that's just because that's what I got on film. But homeschool's hard, and parenting is hard, and being with your kids all day, every day, 24/7 is hard. So if it ever feels like my content or my life is perfect, or you watch people on YouTube or Instagram or wherever, and it feels like they have it all figured out. They don't. We just don't. And so I hope that you can take this and watch content with a grain of salt, because it's not easy. Lastly, I do want to share one more thing. That is what we do about all the copious amounts of Halloween candy that can drive me insane. Not that I don't give my kids candy or let them eat candy, I do, but they don't need 25 pieces a day or 200 pieces that we have to monitor over the next 2 months. It's too much. And I don't like to monitor things. So here's exactly what we do with Halloween candy. I'm going to say this in a way that only makes sense to children. The Switch Witch found us one year, and on Halloween night, she delivered a message to us that said that she's the Switch Witch, and if you give her your extra candy, so you still get to keep some, but if you give her your extra candy for her cat to eat all up, then she will switch, she'll take your candy and switch it for a fun, different treat. Maybe it's clothes, or maybe it's a game, or maybe it's, one year she brought Legos for the kids. So it's just a really nice way to easily get my kids to get rid of Halloween candy. I have a printable that I designed last year or 2 years ago, and I shared it and everyone loved it. So it comes with this little note from the Switch Witch, and I put it in the mailbox. Like, I'm gonna put mine in the mailbox in a couple days. And then she also gives you little cards that you can write on. You count how many pieces of candy you are giving her. You put it out on Halloween night when you go to bed. And in the morning, the Switch Witch has taken your candy and has given you something else. And this year, the Switch Witch is bringing Yodo story cards because they love listening to stories on their Yodo players. It's perfect. It is so much easier than fighting my kids on Halloween candy and trying to hide it and stash it and monitor it. Like, I hate monitoring things. So the Switch Witch is fantastic. Now, if I could just come up with or meet like I don't know, Easter fairy and like a Christmas fairy switch thing, that would be great. And any other holiday that involves kids getting candy, or just candy in general, like Valentine's Day. Why do we give candy? Why do we have so much candy all the time? So that is one way that I reduce the amount of candy that comes in on Halloween. There they are. Thank you so much again for watching these videos and being here. I know that I've been asked now for more recipes, so that was kind of the inspiration for this video. But if there's more that you would like to see, please let me know down in the comments. I make one new video every week on all things fitness, motherhood, and homeschool, and the chaos and reality of all of that. I try to get as much of the chaos on film as possible. I try to just be as honest and open as I can, and even a little vulnerable in what I'm sharing. So make sure that you are subscribed so you don't miss that. And I will see you next week. Bye.